I was my family's golden child, and my sociopath brother didn't like that. Ever since I was little, my older brother Juan enjoyed making me miserable. He'd push me around, call me names until I cried, even hide my hearing aid, but I never blamed him. I figured he was just angry. Mom and Dad put all their focus on me because I was born partially deaf in both ears, so it made sense that he bullied me a little. But as we got older, things only got worse. He started ripping up my homework and stomping on projects. He started deleting my games from my phone just to force me to restart over and over. And on my 15th birthday, he stole all the money my relatives gave as a gift, straight from my piggy bank. I was seriously upset because he knew I donated that money to the deaf community, and that year, I wasn't able to donate anything. I tried getting Mom and Dad involved. It only made Juan angrier. So this year, Juan really stepped things up. I had a huge presentation for my history class worth half my grade. I'd spent 3 weeks preparing and practicing with my speech therapist because public speaking was already hard enough with my hearing. The night before the presentation, I left my note cards and visual aids on the kitchen table. When I woke up, they were gone. I searched everywhere but couldn't find them. I had to give my presentation from memory, and I completely froze up in front of the class. I failed. My teacher felt bad and let me redo it for partial credit, but I was humiliated. When I got home, Juan was in his room laughing on the phone with his friends. Man, my brother's such a weirdo. I was shocked and cried to my parents about it for the first time, spilling how he'd hurt and humiliated me for years. They later sat down with him, telling him that he was 18 and had to act like a responsible adult around me, and that if he couldn't respect me, he needed to move out immediately. Juan agreed to leave me alone, but then came my parents' gift again. A fancy little credit card with my name on it and an $8,000 limit. And suddenly I was back on Juan's naughty list, treating me like I asked for the favoritism in the first place. Things were quiet at first for a good 2 weeks between us. Then I noticed Juan's room started getting filled with expensive stuff he never had. Limited edition sneakers, a new gaming headset, his own VR setup, even the racing sim I'd always wanted. They were clearly things his part-time job at Burger King clearly couldn't afford in such a short time frame. So I asked him one day out of curiosity where he got the money for everything. He just smirked and told me to mind my own business, which instantly told me that something was definitely very wrong here. Later that night, when I was in bed just lying there thinking about it, I heard my door creak open. I instantly pretended to sleep, thinking it was my parents. But through my half-closed eyes, I saw that it was clearly Juan tiptoeing across my room in the dark, grabbing my wallet from my desk carefully. He pulled out the credit card and left the room. After a couple of minutes, he snuck back in and put the card back like nothing happened. I couldn't believe what I'd witnessed. But just to be sure, the next night after saying goodnight to my parents, I set up my phone on my bookshelf, angled toward my desk, and turned on the camera to record, hiding it behind a few books. Then I got into bed and waited. Sure enough, around midnight, my door opened again. Juan snuck in and went straight for my wallet. I had it all on camera, him taking the card out, coming back later with a grin. In the morning, I showed my parents the video. They immediately checked the bank statements online, and sure enough, there were over $2,000 in charges, all being shipped to Juan's friend's house so we wouldn't see the packages. They marched over to his room and confiscated everything, then grounded him, but I could see it in his eyes. He wasn't done. He was angry. Juan didn't just take my card again. He went into my parents' room and stole every credit card in the house. Mom's card, Dad's business card, their joint account card, even the emergency card they kept hidden in a drawer. Over the next month, he maxed out every single one. He managed to spend over $70,000 with one entire checkout. He didn't seem to care anymore. He wanted to burn everything down. When the credit card bill finally arrived at the end of the month, he just rolled his eyes at Mom and Dad while he watched them cry in panic. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because my parents couldn't pay off the debt acquired right away, our scores tanked, and from there, things kept tumbling. Dad's business started collapsing when funds got frozen. Important clients dropped him thinking he was irresponsible. The house received a 30-day notice when Mom couldn't pay off the mortgage for the month. Even their car that still had a few months left of payments was on the verge of getting impounded. There was only one thing my parents could do to resolve everything: press charges on Juan and send him straight to jail, but they couldn't do it. But that's exactly what he was counting on. This time, Juan got physical. Full story on channel linked below.